Alright, welcome to part 2 or day 2 of our introduction to 3D. We're basically going to work on a few more modeling tools and creating just a small scene. Feel free to get creative. You can follow this step by step and then go ahead and model and create some of your own things. Furniture is pretty simple when you're just creating the basic shapes, so we're going to go ahead and start from there. So I got a chair that we've already modeled, and I have duplicated it already. To do that, you just select one of your chairs and you hold down Shift and drag it out, and it creates a duplicate. It asks you if you want to create a new object or if you want to keep it as a sub-object of this group. So I could just say clone to element, and if you see with the element selected, I can select these chairs individually. Delete that. If I turn this off, all my chairs are one object together. So I could call this 4 chairs. Alright. I'm just going to press the G for grid to turn the grid off. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the top view here. And I'm going to go ahead and create a table. So I'm going to guess maybe something like about so. Move this up. Scale it in maybe a little bit more. We just want it on the edge maybe. Alright, that looks pretty good to me. So we could model this table several different ways. We could do a table leg from the very center. We could also do 4 legs. So let's go ahead and go to Edit Poly. So let's see here. I think for this one, I think that we'll go ahead. We're gonna kind of create a center column. And I'm just control clicking and alt clicking to undo anything. So I've got the middle selected, and I'm going to find my inset under Edit Polygons. I'm going to inset this just a little bit. Maybe right about there. And I'm going to do a bevel. So that way I can make this column on the middle kind of small. I don't want it too large. So maybe I'll extrude down. Try just 2. That's good. Do another bevel. So I'm going to go ahead and hit B for bottom. And I can easily switch back and forth just by selecting P to switch to perspective. So now we can kind of see a little bit of what's going on here. I'm going to click just the middle polygon, and I'm going to scale this one in. We've got some weird stretching going on. Some of these polygon lines, but that's okay for right now. They're going to be a little hidden anyway. So now I've kind of gotten like this column. I'm just going to extrude this down. I may want to change my view, right, to maybe the left or the front so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to extrude it down all the way to the floor. Let's move this window over. And let's line this up with where the feet of the chairs are. So that looks pretty good. And I'm just going to actually move that up because I want to create a base. So I'm going to do a bevel, and it's in the negative, so I'm going to change that to positive. Let's try 8. That looks pretty good. Alright, so check that. We're going to then extrude. That's quite a bit much there, so from what we had previously did, so I'll do 5. The checkbox. And I'm kind of liking that right there. Alrighty. Let's go into the perspective here. Rotate around so we can see what it looks like. I might want to turn off the wireframe, right? F3 and F4 to look through that. So now we have a table and chairs. And this would kind of be around the same kind of way that you would maybe do a bench. I mean, there's always more than one way to do several things. So, but we got a table and chairs going on. So let's maybe we're gonna have a bookcase too. So I'm gonna switch and I'm gonna go actually to the front view. And now I figure I'm gonna create a box here, and I'm guessing, you know, maybe it's a fairly tall bookcase. So I'm gonna draw out a bookcase here. And let's go back top view here so we can see. So it's our height that we're going to adjust because we created it in front view. A little weird since it's not actually the height, but it's the height when you're looking at the front view. So here we go. We have this bookcase. I want to say it's about 26 by 130, and the length, we'll just say 170. So we got some even numbers here. Alrighty. So I'm going to right click, go to the modify menu, right click on box, edit poly, select polygon mode, and we'll go ahead and work in, let's do perspective mode. Do an F4 and F3 to switch around. Alright, I'm going to select the first row here. I'm going to inset 1. Actually, let's make this 2. There we go. And click OK. We'll do that for the second row. And then the very bottom. Looks like this one clicked off of it. Okay. So now I can actually go through see if this works. And we're going to extrude. Doing it by group, so that's great. We actually need to go back into the negative. I'm going to kind of turn to the side here so that we can kind of get a better idea in wireframe, pressing F3. So maybe 24, negative 24. All right. Click off that. And since my middle shelves are pretty thick, I may want to, make maybe the base thicker as well. So we'll select these bottom polygons, select extrude. Maybe do a slight bevel. Extrude. Maybe make this like 4. There you go. So now we have like this kind of a base at the bottom. So I'm going to go back to my front view, and then I'm going to select the whole object and just kind of line it up with the rest of them. I may just want to select all of them, and let's just move these up on the base. Then we know that it's right here on that line, that grid line, everything's all the same. Alright, so now we have a bookcase and some chairs. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and create a room. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to draw out a box. Right click, go to Edit Poly. And I'm going to select I'm actually going to Control Z because I want to just make this one segment by one segment. Just Edit Poly. I'm going to select one side and delete it. That way I have a room. That's one tall ceiling. So I'll move this down a little bit. And then I'm going to place, turning off the selection modes, I'm going to place a modifier called shell. So look for shell, here it is, put it on top. It's going to drop down. What is the inner or outer thickness that I want to make this? I want to say, let's see what 5 looks like. Yeah, that's pretty good for now. And then I'm going to go ahead and collapse this. And I'm going to call this room. So now I've got the start of a scene. Alright, what I've done here is select the back polygon and the front polygon of the back wall. I'm now going to inset, check the box, and then I'm going to select bridge. The polygons are still selected. There's this big gaping hole, but what I can do is alt-click the middle ones, then right-click, go to Convert to Vertex, selects the points, and then I can scale these inward. And then I can W for move and move it over, and then I could go and model a window, put some crossbars, and voila, I got a nice little window there. I could create a door, create another fake wall, could create a dresser the same way I did the bookcase, create a lampstand, and just kind of get creative with it. I could even make a living room, entertainment center, a bedroom. So go ahead and get creative and model a few pieces of furniture. have at least 3 or 4 pieces of furniture, have a decent setup.